Hi, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a fantastic new year so far. This is, I think, around the time people start making their choices about what college they're going to go to. So I wanted to share my college experience with you guys. You might not know I have a Bachelor's of Science in Economics. I went to 3 different colleges over the course of 4 years. And I think my biggest piece of advice for you guys would be don't go. Let's just back it all the way up into senior year of high school. I didn't have any after school plans. I didn't have any dreams that I wanted to pursue. I didn't know what I wanted to be. It was very important to my family that I go to college. I think at one point I got it in my head that I was going to join the Peace Corps, and I brought it up to my family and they said, "No way in hell are you doing that. You're going to college." And that was kind of the last I ever thought about what I wanted. Senior year comes around, it's fall. I still didn't know what I wanted to be. My parents were basically like, "You're going to be a chemical engineer. They're hiring a lot of women. That's where the money is. That's what you're going to do." I was really dragging my feet on those applications, and I think it's because I didn't want to do them, because I didn't want to go. Deep down somewhere inside me, I didn't want to go. So my mom actually did them. I had to write all of the essays, but she filled them all out and submitted them. And I didn't really have it in me to say no or to stand up for myself at that point in time. So that was that. I wasn't checking the mail every day for my acceptance letters. She did that. She said, "Okay, you haven't decided what college you want to go to, so you're going to WSU." I said, "Okay." That was a very difficult transitional period in my life. Going from regular public school, everything's the same every single year of your life. You go to class, do your sports, go home, do your homework. It's a very specific layout of how your day goes, how your life goes. And you knew what to expect. So once that was over, I'm going to a completely new environment. I'm going to be by myself. I don't know what to expect. I had to create my own structure, and I couldn't do that because I never learned how. I knew as soon as I got there, I didn't really want to be there. And I don't think my parents took it very seriously when I was like, "Ugh, I don't want to be here." I think they just thought I was scared. And I definitely was, but I also didn't have that drive to go to college. It wasn't something that I actively wanted. It was something I was kind of forced into. And just to pop back in, during the editing process, I realized I never once expressed gratitude for that opportunity. And I just want to be clear that I am very, very grateful that I had the opportunity, which is why it's taken me so long to talk about this. And part of why I've felt so bad about it is because I know there are millions of people out there who would kill for the opportunity that I had. And I feel bad for taking someone's spot when I didn't really want to be there. And I know my parents have done a lot and sacrificed a lot for me to have a good life and have any opportunity I could dream of. That just wasn't the one I wanted. And so I've carried around a lot of guilt about that. But believe me, I am very, very aware of how lucky I am. I did not thrive. Now people look back on college and say it's the best time of their lives. They make lifelong friendships. That wasn't me. I really struggled. I joined the rowing team. That was something that my mom suggested. She said, "You're going to need something to stay fit. This will be an activity for you to do. I think you should try out." So I tried out. It was hard. Looking back now, I do wish I'd stuck with it, but it was really hard on me. I was getting up at 5 in the morning to go to practice, and then I had classes, and then I had more practice after my classes were done. Very physically demanding, and I was not anywhere close to being in shape. Adding in the struggle of being pretty much by myself. Classes weren't going well. I never learned how to study. They actually got me a tutor because I was struggling in my economics class, of all things. And it was all a lot for me. So I quit rowing, but I still wasn't doing well. I was put on academic probation. They basically sent me a letter at the end of school that said, "Your grades are so bad that you're going to have to reapply and tell us what you'll do differently if you want to stay in school." My mom was pissed. That was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, was telling her that. And then, a week later, she's like, "Okay, what do we need to do? What are you going to do to change?" And I said, "I'm not reapplying. I'm not going back. You can't make me go back. I'm not doing it." I went to the community college for 1 quarter. Chemical engineering's not for me. I said, "I'm going to major in forensic chemistry." So I did a quarter of just more science classes, and I decided to be done with that, with the community college, because I wasn't getting anything out of it. I also didn't have any money to pay for tuition. And my parents one day were like, "What are you going to do? What are you going to do with your life?" I said, "I don't know. What am I going to do with my life?" And they said, "We don't really care. Just pick something. Just figure it out." And I said, "Okay, I am going to be an actuary because I'm good at math and it pays a lot of money." This was also after I had bounced between sociology and psychology as a major. I settled on math. I applied to Eastern Washington University, but I felt more ready for college this time. Somewhere over the course of that year, I realized I didn't want to be there. Like, truly, this is not what I wanted to be doing with my life. I didn't want to follow this path, but I had already sunk so much time and energy and money into it that I was like, I'm not leaving without a diploma. I'm not doing this and having nothing to show for it. My senior year of college starts, and I decide, don't want to major in math anymore. I'm not enjoying this. Funnily enough, I was enjoying my economics classes, and I said, if I really like this and still feel good about it, I'm going to switch my major to economics. Even though I knew it wasn't something that I like really truly wanted, I liked it enough that I could finish out my college experience that way. Also during that time though, I had been spending a lot of time on YouTube. I think it was because earlier that year, In My Blood by Shawn Mendes had come out, and I heard it on the radio for the first time, and it just blew my mind. So then I went home and, looked it up and went down this YouTube rabbit hole, and I was just watching like celebrity interviews and performances and everything like that. I watched the Reputation Stadium tour. That just was like a game changer for me. Kind of started thinking to myself, like, this seems like fun. This seems like something I would want to do. So June rolls around, I graduate. I wasn't excited. I was just so glad to be done. And that's really sad. Like, I feel so sad that I spent 4 years of my life wanting to be anywhere but there. As a graduation gift, my mom took me to Chicago and we saw Hamilton. And then we also popped over to see a Shawn Mendes concert. Within 20 seconds of Alessia Cara stepping on stage, I just like something clicked in my soul. I was like, that's what I want to do. That's where I need to be. And there was such like this profound sense of relief at knowing that, but there was also like this deep sadness and regret. Like, why did it take me 4 years to realize this? And I can't help but wonder, if I hadn't been so set on pursuing college and trying to make my parents happy, like, would I have realized that sooner? And here's the real kicker. They don't care. If I hadn't gone to college, they wouldn't have cared. Even though they made such a big deal about it, about how I needed to go and I was too smart to waste my brain on anything else, they wouldn't have cared. And I'm trying not to look at this from the mindset of regret, but I do keep it top of mind going forward because I don't want that to happen again. I don't want to move forward on a path just because I think it's what I should be doing when I know different. And I don't want that to happen to any of you. If you don't know what you want to be, if you don't know what you want to do, where you want to go, don't do it. Don't waste your money. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your energy. Take a year off and work. Figure out what you really want. Like, it's not the end of the world. There are so many ways to live life, and there's no one right way. And I just wish someone had told me that when I was younger. I think if I could go back and talk to my younger self, I would say, don't go to college. There's nothing for you there that you can't get somewhere else. I didn't make lifelong friends. Sometimes I use what I learned. I mean, my economics degree has been somewhat helpful in getting me a job, but it wasn't really necessary. I just think it was kind of like a period of distraction for me. Like, it just put off the inevitable, which was me working in retail for a couple years, becoming a stronger person, and then moving into the 9-to-5 corporate life, trying to make a little bit better money and seem more professional and more adult. If you know what you want and you know that you need college to get there, then go. But it's not the end all be all. And I think for a lot of people, like, you probably won't make lifelong friends. You probably won't look back on it as the best years of your life. It's just something that you had to do, or something you felt you had to do. But at the end of the day, this is your life. And I don't think you should waste it on doing something that you're not absolutely certain you want to do. So that's enough out of me. Feel free to tell me what you think in the comments if you have a different opinion than me. If you had a great college experience, if you had a terrible one, if you haven't gone yet, if you're still trying to figure it out, I want to know about it. And I will see you guys next week. Love you.